Hey everyone! Before we begin with this episode, I would like to let you know that I recently started a few new channels, of which one is a Minecraft focused channel. Am I a bit late to the party? Heck yeah! But that doesn't mean that the game and its adventure maps aren't any less fun. You can find the link to the Minecraft with Max channel in the description down below. Currently we are going down memory lane as we revisit some of the most beloved and famous adventure maps ever made for Minecraft. Please take a look for awesome and fun co-op gameplay with me and the gang, and if you like what you see, please subscribe to the channel. There are already a whole bunch of adventure maps on there, including the link so you too can play them, and of course, you can let us know if you want to see a specific adventure on the channel. I also have other channels that you can find in the description, including a Star Wars Battlefront one or a gaming review channel. Thanks for the support, and enjoy the rest of the episode. The experiment, initiated and formally led by Austrian doctor Hugo Steiner, involving an apex and modified Spinosaurus, continued. Though Steiner was no longer active on this site, his assistants continued to watch as the beefed-up Spinosaurus continued to slay its victims left and right, which diminished the dinosaur population in the pen noticeably. Where the giant field was first sprawling with carnivores, both big and small, all that was left now were a few Acrocanthosaurus that were still bunching up in the hopes not to be antagonized by the Spino. But the battles that occurred again and again, and would always favor the Spinosaurus, now took its toll on the mental health of some of the dinosaurs, as they now also attacked each other. Within the zone, Acrocanthosaurus could be seen with wounds inflicted not by the Spino, but by their fellow mates. It really emphasized exactly how much stress these dinosaurs were under with this experiment. The Spino itself also seemed to notice the lowering numbers of its potential challengers, and this for some reason made it more aggressive. The brutal predator either got annoyed, agitated, or maybe feeling confident about the fewer opponents, as it never seemed to be satisfied with its bloodlust. Battles now not only happened during the day, but also at night. Whenever the Spinosaurus would sleep, the other Acrocanthosaurus fed off the carcasses left behind, as most now completely ignored the feeders, another possible side effect because of the stress. With the battles now happening all throughout the day and night, the sight at dawn was horrifying, with the field just scattered with giant bodies, all creatures who perished in the name of science. At the same time, location S was where Dr. Steiner was currently staying. This site was used to measure the absolute minimum space that was required for the dinosaurs in order to build an amusement park rivaling Konoha's with the minimum effort in terms of dinosaur pens to lower the cost. Multiple dinosaurs were let loose in pens that were so small that no water or feeders could be implemented. One of those pens, the smallest, housed a Diplodocus, an Ankylosaurus, and a Carnotaur that did not attack the others since it was more occupied and stressed out about the lack of movement space. The scientists were more fascinated by the suppression of the hunting instinct and forgot that some of the dinosaurs might be pushed over the edge and would attack the fence. This time the fences were sturdier and electrified, and so the scientists and personnel felt at ease, which was a terrible mistake. But the few shocks that the Carnotaur got were nothing compared to it going insane in such a small environment. It was now pure instinct to live on that drove him to attack the fence over and over again. At the time, the scientists had assembled not too far from the pens to discuss data and results, but out of sight, meaning that they had no idea what was currently happening. The sound of the clashes were muffled by other dinosaurs roaring and helicopters going in and out, exchanging information from different sites. And then finally, the torture was over for the dinosaurs in the smallest pen. The Carnotaurus had broken out. It immediately stepped outside, stretching its legs and looking around the area. Again, the scientists had no idea, as they currently were not monitoring the pens, and most of the staff currently left from the meeting held nearby. As fate would have it, only Dr. Steiner was still outside in the field, communicating the results of the meeting to his peers on different locations. He was so focused on himself that he did not even notice the ground shake and the thumping of loud footsteps coming closer. That is, he did not notice it until it was too late. When he dropped his communication device due to a sudden tremble, he looked back angrily, but that anger immediately was replaced with fear and disbelief. In front of him stood the Carnotaur, exhausted, hurt, and hungry from lack of food. These were all the results that were set in motion by Dr. Steiner himself. And in this shock, Dr. Steiner tripped, wanting to scream, but no sound could be heard. All he could see were the rows of sharp teeth, and for the first time ever, he saw a dinosaur for what it really was. A powerful creature that needed to be respected as it had the power to kill, not a mere science project. And like so many novels had said in ink, Dr. Steiner was eaten and killed by that which he helped create. It was a sense of poetic justice by Mother Nature once again. But with the Carnotaur breaking the fencing, it of course now also meant that the other dinosaurs could escape as well. The Ankylosaurus was the first to enjoy the blessings of freedom, and it took a while for the Diplodocus to notice it too. The Diplodocus was a bit slower of mind dinosaur, but a kind one at that. It must have been the most excruciating for the Diplodocus in that small pen, due to its size, and one could visibly see the instant stress relief it got when it walked over the open fields. By now, the other staff noticed what had happened, and an evacuation of Location S was immediately put into motion. Due to all the commotion, the Carnotaur left the facility site and headed out in the open as well. It turned out that because of this, the only human lost during this occurrence was Dr. Hugo Steiner. With the evacuation in progress, the dinosaurs actually had the chance to escape and head into the wild. Parts of the island were still flooded with wild and free dinosaurs, in which these newcomers could be integrated very well. The other dinosaurs in the bigger, but still very small pens also noticed the breach, and this triggered them too to level the fencing and enjoy the beauty of freedom. The first thing most of the dinosaurs wanted was a drink, especially the ones from the smallest pen, since there was not even room to lay down a drinking spot there. The dinosaurs were weak, but over time they would regain their strength and enjoy life at the fullest for the first time. And despite some of the locations and sites being awful, a lot of them also did really good work for the dinosaurs. For example, Site K Location O had just finished the creation of new dinosaurs that actually got greenlit to be added to the safari park after expansions were planned. Or facilities like the one at Site H, Location 3, which had just created feeders for the dinosaurs, which required a more wetland type of environment. But back at the carnivore pen, things continued their own horrible way, as now the last of the Acrocanthosaurus were left. It was also not the case of an example of survival of the fittest. The carnivores that were left were simply still alive because fate would have it that the Spinosaurus had not chosen them to duel. By now, also the next step with the Spinosaurus was put down for the scientists on a need-to-know basis. Similar experiments with manipulated dinosaurs had been going on elsewhere on different sites and locations. These spiced up predators would now be faced against each other if they managed to successfully root every other dinosaur from the pen they were currently in. And on one particular night, the message was thrown into the public that the Spinosaurus was the only dinosaur left alive. It was time for the Spino to now meet some opponents that were very similar to her.